1st of May, it's Tuesday, 17 minutes to 4 p.m. in the afternoon here in Australia. Here is a bit of a follow-up video that I did on XYO network. Now, I'd done a whole heap of homework and opened up a whole heap of tabs in my last video and had dived into a whole heap of different parts of this particular blockchain. One of the tabs I actually brushed over and missed, and that was the actual use cases. Now, I was talking a lot about courier companies such as UPS or e-commerce companies, things like Amazon. I was even talking about pizza delivery, anything where there was an item or a product or a service going from one end to another. This particular technology is going to bring a lot more transparency and seamlessness and probably security. And I think that's a great element to this entire product. But it does flow over into other industries, and what I've been looking at on this particular page, I talk about how it can go into medical care, and it can also, just in regards to helping with record keeping and how to track drugs and things like that. There's lots of infrastructure and items and things of value in hospitals and things like that. So it's basically a security blanket, being able to track these particular products instead of etching them in with I think the old school way was to etch in a number, and if something goes missing, you record the serial number. But what we'll probably see is that you'll actually be able to put a little sticker or a nano dot or something on these particular items, which provides an element of security. It can flow over into rental car agencies. I'm pretty sure most rental car agencies like to know where their cars are, or if there's been an issue or something like that, it comes up on the system. And I'm sure there will be a whole heap of subsidiary bits of infrastructure that can support this entire network and how that integrates into these industries. Another one that people can relate to is commercial airline luggage. I think anyone that's lost luggage would relate to this. That it's a horrible feeling when your items go missing in any format. This particular type of technology, instead of the little sticker with just a barcode, you'll have the little nano dot or whatever it is. I'm not sure if it's nanotechnology, I keep saying that, but it's this particular type of technology where it can actually track the goods, so in this case your luggage, and it might actually be able to find these items faster, or probably even alleviate the loss in the first place. Where it starts to get a little bit grey for me is how this technology could invade privacy. At the moment, I did mention in my last video how the car I was borrowing was tracking me, and it actually on my phone came up and showed me where the car was, and I was about 3 or 4 minutes away. Now, I didn't consent to that, so that's probably a big thing for me in regards to privacy and that type of thing. And so I like the whole concept of smart contracts. I like the whole concept of your own personal jurisdiction. I think everything needs to be consensual. So if there's a tracking device on something, I'd like to know about it. I hear bad things about the TSA, national security agencies, and whether or not they're invading privacy for the fear, or not for the fear, or the perception of protection and security. I think it's a fine line. But there's mention here about firearms. I think it's a contentious issue in regards to whether or not people should have firearms. I think it's up to the individual. I do believe that, and that basic common right should apply to everything. And if you're working hard on education, spending the money on education and these type of things, and we don't have as many of these issues. And I think that's the underlying thing that people forget. There's a lot of blaming going on. However, I think this technology could come into great use, and there's talking about the drone technology and package delivery systems that even Amazon, there's a company I'm looking into that does selfie drones. So they've got all the facial recognition stuff, and now they're moving into how to utilise energy, and I think even nanodots and those type of things. And I think it will probably flow over into this type of technology where they're using proof of origin and proof of location to track goods or track data or track information. As long as it's consensual, I'm happy. From a basic level, I'd like to know what's going on in my environment. What other people do, that's up to them. But that's all I wanted to share with you, is just those use cases, because I did miss it in my last video. So it's not just e-commerce. It can flow over into just a basic security of valuable goods, airlines, rental cars, anything where, like I said, anything where there's 2 points and there's something going from one to another, or just in case something does go missing, you can track it and those type of things. So very interesting technology and very interesting part, and again it shows you the diversity of blockchain in regards to niches and the power of this space at the moment and all these great ideas. So XYO network use cases, check it out and let me know what you think. Thanks guys.